Hey, what's going on, everybody? Check it out. I dropped a new video on Nifty Arcade. Hope you check that one out. But let's go ahead and get into what we're talking about today. And that is the Speakeasy recap and just going over Speakeasy once again a little bit with you guys. I want to say thank you that I did get one person who used my referral code. So that'll be in the description of the video. Again, you just have to use my wallet. And as you can see, that upped my deposit that used to be at 1.85 to 1.91. And I will say that if I can, I'm going to get a list of the referral people. And if this gets pushed up to a decent amount extra, then I still have a gin and tonic extra cocktail NFT for this that is not really selling that well. So maybe I'll just give it away to one of you guys if you don't happen to have a cocktail NFT if you decide to get into Speakeasy. So let's go over what Speakeasy is again. This is an ROI type DApp where you're going to be investing BNB and getting BNB back. You invest it in and you only get it back once a week. So as you can see, I'm finally able to do my first claim of 0.153 BNB, and I can either let it ride, which will redeposit it, or I can cash it out. Just like most ROI dApps like this, there is a maximum amount that you can make on any investment. Now, there were some fees when I did my investment of 2 BNB, but you can see it actually counted as a full 2 BNB deposited. This means even though there are some fees that are explained here pretty easily if you go through their very well white paper, and I went over that better in my last video, you do get full credit for your deposit and you are able to withdraw a full 3 times whatever you've put in. So I can never deposit anything again. Just hit this cash out button and keep hitting this cash out button until I get to 6 BNB. Now, how can he afford to do that? Once again, he funded this project a couple different ways. If we go down here, we'll come back to the Speakeasy protocol. We'll talk about the membership cards. Now, if you buy a membership card, it doesn't count as a deposit. So I've put 2 BNB in as a deposit, but I've also invested 0.25 BNB roughly because I have a silver membership card. I actually bought it through EMP, so it might have been like 0.22 BNB or something, because there was an EMP membership card they sold to those of us invested in EMP for a certain amount of EMP tokens. When we go over the relationship this has to the EMP project, you'll explain why he did that. And then there's the gold membership key card. Basically, with this membership key card, you get a daily rate is increased from 0.25% to 0.75. If you get a regular membership card, it's 0.25%. You don't have to get either of these membership cards. You can just come in and deposit straight BNB. But if you don't, then you only earn a 0.25%, and that's your cap. You can't earn any more. So your daily number here would be 0.25, whereas mine's at 1.25. Now, with a silver membership, how did I get to 1.5? Well, Speakeasy has these items they have called cocktails. And so for that, we're going to click on the documents here and go over here to the cocktails. Oh, that's the audits. We'll go to the NFT. So the cocktail NFTs. So this mint is already over. These have been minted. I minted 2 of them, trying to get a really good one. I got 1 gin and tonic. That was the worst one I could get. And I got 1 Pina Colada, which is about, on the top end of the good ones. But I didn't get lucky enough to mint an old fashioned. These are tradable on NFT Trade. I'll have a link in the description if you want to look at the current prices for them. But for now, while the project is kind of young, there isn't a whole lot of demand for them. That's understandable in my opinion. Now, these give you straight boosts. So as you can see, I have my regular 0.25%. I have a silver level boost, which gives me another 0.25%. And then I get a 0.65% from my Pina Colada, and that's how I'm at 1.65%. Now, or 1.15. Now, the highest percentage that you could currently get would be if you had a old-fashioned NFT, which gives you a 1% bonus, plus a silver membership, and plus the static. So you could have a 1.5 here. Now, for now, Kirk has said, and he's the leader of this project, that none of the other combos that he comes out with are going to ever go over 1.5%. So those people who have 1.5%, most of them got in pretty early. They did the first mint, and they're being rewarded that way. I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit on this page. So when we talk about the performance, this is the bank, and as you can see, this was updated last on March 10th, which was yesterday, but it kind of shows here, this is what he's taken the funds from the 2 NFT sales that he's done of the key cards and the cocktail NFTs, invested it into the projects that he's listed here. So there's the ETH EMP farm, there's the eShare rewards pool farm. These have to do with the EMP project. There's a little bit of money in detonator and reactor. These are locked up values, but that he's able to do claims with. And if you don't understand EMP, I have videos on that project as well, and I'll be starting to cover them again as I'm going to try to get back into making more videos about that project. They have some pretty cool things coming up. He does have a little bit put into nodes, and then he has a little bit in the Dex vaults that they project that they have a partnership with. That's why these are kind of put together. Then he's also using the elephant token. I'm not as familiar with everything within the elephant token ecosystem, but I do have some elephant token, and I do understand that there is kind of a way for that token to constantly be moving up, and it's done relatively well since its inception, but like everything right now, crypto is struggling. He bought some trunk token, which was kind of interesting. This is a depegged stable coin that's part of the elephant token project. So if this repegs, this 31,000 would about triple. And it's been holding its kind of low value off the peg for a while now of about a quarter. So we'll have to see what this goes with. I think this was kind of a interesting investment for him to go ahead and make with the money. But again, it's good to understand where he's investing the money. After that, he went into a BTC farm, a USD farm, an ETH farm, and an EM futures farm, which is basically just a BNB type futures contract. And then they are currently holding some USDT, some Ethereum, and some Bitcoin. So these are all holdings. Now, all the money within the bank isn't really designed to be used to pay back the protocol. It's meant to stay in the bank, but part of what he earns off of all of these different farms he's in helps fill back up the pot and the bank. And our BNB that gets paid out comes from these two numbers. Now you can see we're 1 week in with 348 members, but only 398 members. These are people who own membership cards, but only 274 of them have invested. Now, why is that? Well, you have someone like me. I don't know about that one. Cocktail holders are different, but if you have a membership card, you'd kind of expect them to come into here, because the only way you can make money back with your membership card is if you invest into the project. So we'll have to see what ends up happening with that. Now, what I'm going to be reviewing from here is some of the big news from the most recent AMA that they had. Now, Speakeasy has its own YouTube channel here, and I'll put a link in the description if you want to come to them, but they had some pretty big announcements during their most recent AMA. So I'm going to go over some of the biggest ones that I thought, and then if you want to listen to the entire AMA, it's only about 46 minutes. They're going to be having another cocktail sale, but these are special cocktails that are being sold for certain communities that are out there. There's an EMP cocktail that's being sold for the EMP token. Again, he has a very close relationship to that one. The Pillars crypto project went ahead and worked with him to issue their own NFT, and the Speakeasy one also came in and they offered him one of these NFT. Not Speakeasy, the Shipwreck Cove project. And so they each got to design their own NFT, and so that was kind of cool. The other thing that's cool is once these NFTs are live, it's going to be kind of on those projects to tell their members that they have an opportunity to get a special NFT branded with their thing if they would like to join the Speakeasy platform, and that's pretty cool. And the reason why I'm starting to call the Speakeasy platform not just the Speakeasy ROI DApp is because of this AMA and some new things that we saw coming. because look at this, we've already got a pretty cool little engagement with 2 other crypto projects. Even if this only brings over 10 or 20 or 30 people from each project, that would be a nice boon to the overall amounts of investors that we currently have. If we're only sitting at 274 investors and we bring over 30 from each of those projects, that's pretty good. And again, you can see right now, the awards that are currently available to claim are only 4.7 BNB, and he has a pot with 556 and the bank holding 462. So that's not bad when you think about the fact that this project is meant to pay you back at a slow clip, and the hope is that the bank can keep earning enough money to never have to sell any of these assets, but just go ahead and keep filling up the pot with enough to pay out what is due to those who have decided to invest. And you do have to remember, when people reinvest and do a little bit more delayed gratification, the pot won't empty quite as quick as some people might expect it to. All right, one of the other big announcements is they are going to have the BSC house is going to be built into their website as a tab within the website. And what is this? This is a straight Deegan play for Deegan people to come here and basically play a dice game. This isn't very unique, but if you're going to name a project the Speakeasy and it's a back alley alcohol play, then why not bring in a Deegan back alley casino game into the ecosystem? But the one interesting thing for this is that if you don't want to be a Deegan and try to gamble against the house, you can actually make a deposit into being in the house. Now, I'll have to wait till these contracts are out and they are audited and everything, because anytime you have a gambling game and one of these dice games, the house always wins in the long run, but individual people will win. So it's interesting to be able to deposit money into the bank. But at the same time, all of this is going to be supporting the Speakeasy project, whether you're a gambler or somebody who wants to be on the other side on the house, or maybe you just don't care about this. No big deal. It's just one other thing they have that's helping them earn some additional revenues and just additional things going on within the ecosystem. They also announced another complete Speakeasy, a gold NFT cocktail collection. Now, this is something that's kind of interesting. These NFTs are going to be sold, and they're only going to be usable with the gold membership. Now, remember, if we go over here and we look at the memberships, that's a 0.75 BNB membership. So they would have to pay a 0.75 BNB membership, and then, clicked on my wrong tab there, but we're just going to let it roll because I'm kind of a one take YouTuber. Then you can buy one of these and you can get different bonuses. And it's a little blurry, so I'll go over them. There's a 20% chance to get a mojito that has a 0.65% bonus. There is a 20% to get a blue Hawaiian that has a 0.55. And then there is also a 30% chance to get what is this one? A mint julienne? Or mint gelato, I think. I might be saying that wrong. It's a 0.35 bonus. And then there's the Long Island iced tea. This is the 0.25 bonus. This is similar to the extra NFT I have. This is a Gin&Tonic. This would be the most unlucky one to mint. Sorry about that. And these can only be combined with the gold membership, but you will see that the biggest bonus here, unlike the last time he minted out NFTs, is only a 0.65, and it has to be used with the gold, which is a 0.75. That's a 0.4 maximum earning. That's still lower than if you had a silver and a gin and tonic. Like I said, he's going to keep that as the best combo you can get. So if you want the best combo you can ever get in this, you need to go out to the secondary market, get yourself a gin and tonic and a silver membership, not even a gold membership. Kind of an interesting thing. These will be, again, a mint that goes on for an entire month. He's hoping that this will bring some people in who want to get investments going with the gold membership card. But again, see, all of this stuff that you're selling when he's selling these NFTs, it's about setting up your return to come to you quicker. But none of this counts as deposits into the protocol. It's all money for him to use to go ahead and buy more assets and buy more investments and have more things out there earning him money. And you can already see he really spreads out his investments, right? He's picked 2 projects he really likes a lot while holding still 35 Ethereum to maybe put into another project that he likes. Who knows, as we get into when Shanghai launches, he could take this Ethereum and maybe run an Ethereum staking node with it. That would be an option that he would have to him. And that would just be straight ETH staking that he sets up on his own and would be, making money to come into his protocol with this a couple $1,000s in UST and a quarter of a Bitcoin. A quarter of a Bitcoin isn't too much money today, but next year, as we enter the next halving for Bitcoin, if Bitcoin runs up to 50, 60, 70K again, like some people think, then if he just holds a little bit of Bitcoin, he's really setting himself up to get some actual cash gains that he could then deploy into the ecosystem, especially because when he's holding any of these other coins, ETH or BTC, he has to pay out BNB. So he's kind of making a play to say, well, if BNB drops a little bit and ETH and BTCB go up, or BTC, then I can go ahead and use some of that BTC or use some of that ETH to pick up some cheap BNB, because he wants to keep his protocol healthy and make sure that we can all keep doing our claims. That was all the big things I remember from the AMA. I think there was one other NFT to talk about. Let me see if I can find it here. And maybe, wait, that was the game. He did a lot of other talking about pretty exciting things. I know there was one other NFT, but if I can't find it in here, this is when he gave away 1 BNB, 0.25 BNB to 4 different people. He's going to be doing different Twitter contests like that, and if you were to happen to win one, because that's just showing the landing page, right? So this project's going to get its own page to share with its own team. I feel like there was an NFT. You know what? I'll try to verify this and I'll talk about it in my next update once some of this stuff is live. But I feel like there was also talks of an NFT that you could buy that would give you a guaranteed 0.5 reward. And the reason why that one's kind of interesting is because if you want that one instead of this, you could just pay and get a guaranteed 0.5. So you're losing your chance to gamble and try to get 0.55 or 0.65. But you won't get stuck with 0.25 or 0.35, and that might be the more sensible thing to do. He did talk about doing that, but I don't know if there was a slide yet for that NFT. So that goes over all the main things I wanted to show you on the Speakeasy. Now we'll talk a little bit about my plan. Now, because the lotto for this does a maximum payout of 3 BNB, I'm already technically over the amount that people can do. But I did want to get a little bit more money deposited into my TVL. So my current plan is to do a 2-2 kind of plan where I'm going to go let it ride, cash out, let it ride, cash out, let it ride, cash out. Now, one of the nice things about this is that, as you can see, I'm a couple hours late to come and do this, but there's no time thing. If I showed up tomorrow to do this, sure, it makes me wait one more day before I get past another 168 hours, but it's not as brutal as missing something like you might on some of the ones that have an exact time. So the other thing to note is this is the only time anybody can put in any extra money. So if you're waiting between your 168 hours, you cannot deposit more. So basically, he always knows at the end of the week how much money he's going to have to give out, because nobody else can deposit anymore. Now, once the project is actually up and running, he'll be tracking more about what is going to be able to be cashed out every single day. But a lot of us are probably on the similar schedule as I deposited on the first day last week. So this is the actual first day that anybody could do any claiming. So let's go ahead. I'm going to be doing a deposit today. I don't have a lot of BNB left, but I picked up a little bit. So we're going to be putting in an extra 0.2. And then, so this is how you would do an additional deposit. You put in what you want here, and then you let this ride. Now, let's say I only wanted to deposit 0.2 more. Then I could do 0.05, and those combined, letting it ride, would do a 0.2 deposit. But we're going to do a 0.2, basically. We'll just do an O for that. We're going to hit let it ride. we should get, just a little normal BNB fee, the 0.2 that I'm putting in. Let me just close that little pop-up out, though I don't think that showed on the video. And then we'll just wait a moment for this to go through, and you should see this number update. Yep, there we go. We got a 2.24 now that I'm getting my bonus off of. My daily boost is at 1.16. That's interesting. I got an extra 0.01 from doing that deposit. I wonder if that is just a little rounding error in the math that's going on here. I'll have to look into how I would have got an extra 0.01% on my bonus. And now my maximum payout is 7 BNB, and I have 0 withdrawn. Now, I'm going to let it ride again next week, but I think I'm just going to do a straight let it ride. And then I don't think I'll be adding any more. That'll get me, theoretically, if I earn again about 1.7, it'll get me close to like a 2.4 in TVL. And then I'll be able to do a couple claims to try to eventually get back my initial investment, doing a 2-4, like two compounds, 2 claims. And then once I've actually recouped my initial investment, which now is just about 2.2 BNB, and it's back into my wallet, and this withdrawal numbers at like 2.2 BNB, then I'm going to actually switch to 3 compounds and 1 claim and go ahead and try to push this. But at the same time, I'm going to be paying attention to the numbers in the bank, the EMP project, the Elephant project, and any other project he happens to be a part of, so that I know that this protocol is healthy and has that good amount of BNB in there. The real hope is that eventually, if the rewards available every day are about 10 BNB, he's earning way more than 10 BNB over here. And then he's, just going to be a healthy project that can just continue forward. And if more people come in, it will hopefully create some more demand for his different things that are in his protocol. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later.